Oh, I don't know. Everybody's looking at me like they were mad at me all of a sudden. I don't know what their problem was. I mean, all I did, I've seen women do it a million times and nobody gets mad at them. All I did was I took the bouquet of flowers and I threw it out over the heads of the people in the crowd there, in the audience, and I said, okay, let's see who's going to be next. And they all look at me like they're mad at me. I thought they did that at every funeral. I don't know why. Oh, hello, good morning, creepy friends and friendly creeps. Welcome back to the Library of Horror Hotel once again, where it's time for another exciting edition of Creepy Cheapies with Dr. Lady. I, of course, am Orville Redenbacher, and sooner or later the day is going to come when I'm going to have to change that candle. Oh dear. So please subscribe, to these videos and see every subscriber brings us closer to being able to get a new candle, as far as you know. Today's mask for you is another good one, this time from Death Studios. It's the Death Studios version of Bloody Mary. Yeah, and it's not extremely feminine looking. You could use it as a male character, I guess. You could use it as Bloody Marty, Bloody Marvin, I suppose, if you wanted to, but it's actually intended to be Bloody Mary. Now, this great looking mask came out back in the year 2016, and it was sculpted for you by Mr. Death himself, Jeff Kime, aka Jeff Death, and I believe our late great friend John Smith went over Jeff's sculpture prior to molding and added some of the detailed surface texture. Surface textural details? Textural surface details. Detailing of the texture of the surface details of the, well, we'll fix that in editing. Anyway, Bloody Mary, as you probably know if you live on the same planet that she does, which is Earth incidentally, as you probably know, goes way back. Bloody Mary is kind of the original creepypasta, you might say. Before we had creepypastas and before people were calling things names like urban myths or urban legends, before that there were things that circulated around, but not on the internet, like Bloody Mary, and it was sort of a divination game, sort of a dare, performed at parties and get-togethers and slumber parties, that sort of thing. She was always invited, yeah. But there are a lot of different variations on the old legend of Bloody Mary. A lot of variations on how it works, and sometimes Bloody Mary is evil and will hurt you or kill you or scratch your eyes out or something, but sometimes Bloody Mary is actually a good and benevolent and kind spirit of some unhappy deceased person who will maybe answer a question for you. And it's said that if you do the ritual in the right way at the right time, usually involving a mirror, by the way, usually she would either maybe answer a question for a girl. Bloody Mary would maybe tell a girl the name of the man who will eventually marry her, or show in the mirror, show the reflection of the face of the man she's destined to marry, or some such thing. Now, sometimes you would have to, and there's a lot of variation here because there are so many different versions of the Bloody Mary story. Sometimes you had to walk backwards up a staircase while holding a mirror. Sometimes you had to stand in a room with only a candle and blow out the candle and turn on the light, or turn off the light and blow out the candle and light the candle, and all these different variations. Sometimes you would have to stare into the mirror and say Bloody Mary 13 times. Sometimes you would only have to say it 3 times, or 5 times, or only once, and either close your eyes or open your eyes suddenly or blow out the candle or something. And again, a lot of different variations, and I'm not sure what I don't think any of them is really chiseled in tombstone as far as being the definitive version. There have been a number of masks called Bloody Mary over the years. Again, the one we're talking about today is the Death Studio version that you see here. And there have been a bunch of movies as well. I remember seeing one Bloody Mary movie that I liked. I thought it was pretty good, but I remember everyone else in the world hated it, and I don't remember which one it was. It was one of about 6 movies called Bloody Mary. So I don't remember which one. Anyway, what a great sculpture this is. And you know, as a collector, it's your job to complain about everything. Complain and complain and complain. And I try to complain, you know, to make sure everybody knows I'm a real, genuine, authentic, experienced, knowledgeable collector. I try to complain a lot, but with Death Studios products, it just is too difficult. You can't find anything to complain about because this paint job is fantastic. I have not done anything to this mask, okay? This is straight out of the box from Death Studios. I've had this one since this was new, I believe, 2016. And I haven't done anything to it. This is the original paint. The teeth have like a tartary, nasty look to them, sort of stained. The tongue and teeth and blood look nice and shiny. And the hair, nobody has done anything to the hair. It came like this. Look how generous and look how well done. All right, and even the details that don't really show up, like some nastiness on her ear here, even that is painted in case the hair goes back enough that somebody would see it. So what a great piece. Sells for around 85 bucks, and some of the guys I know who paint masks would charge you that much just to paint it. And it's amazing. I don't know how Mr. Death does it as inexpensively as he does, because everything on the Death Studios website is usually under 100 bucks. A few of them are more than that, but they're, you know, big, elaborate extras on them. The average mask on the Death Studios site is still under 100 bucks, and the quality is so outstanding. We don't know how they do it. We suspect sorcery. But anyway, old Bloody Mary here could be used in the haunted house for just about anything. She doesn't necessarily have to be the Bloody Mary character. And that's another thing where there's some variation on what she looks like. There are a lot of different theories and traditions that sometimes Bloody Mary is an old hag, like an old witch, but sometimes she's a beautiful girl or a beautiful woman. Sometimes she has bleeding eyes, eye sockets. Sometimes she's a woman covered with blood. It just depends on where you heard the story and how many people passed it down to other people, and it got changed a little bit along the way. And you know, like every other story, really, depends on who's telling it to a large extent. So this is not a movie-based rendition of what the Bloody Mary character might look like. It is just an original interpretation from Death Studios of what Bloody Mary might look like. And if you don't like masks with actual blood on them, they also sell a dry version without the blood. And you can get it either with the eyes cut out so you could wear it and see out of it, or like this one here, uncut display copy. Either one. They were all available as of late 2020. If you're not watching this video until the year 2368, you may be a little late to score one of these. But at least you'll be able to get the holographic version, and that's easier to breathe through anyway, right? That's all we have to say about Bloody Mary. Pick one up from the creeps at Death Studios, and until next time, I'll see you in the obituaries.